Hey, what's going on? My name is EA. Welcome back to the channel. Welcome to the channel and welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to the laboratory, where we don't just cook, we remix the classics with flavor and with some flair. Now check this out. Now, you probably heard of this famous dish called Marry Me Chicken. It's rich, creamy, and it's said to be so good. I've heard folks say, it's so good that it might land a ring on your finger or something. But here's the thing. I've also been told that if you change or switch one ingredient in a particular dish, technically it's a whole new dish. We're gonna flip the script entirely and take it straight to the sea, baby. So when I talk about flavor and flair, that means we're gonna do something a little bit different today. Today we're making a dish I personally love, and I think you will also. We're gonna be doing a seared salmon smothered in creamy garlic, onion, and pepper sauce. Let me repeat that. We're gonna be preparing a seared salmon smothered in a creamy garlic, onion, and pepper sauce. Served over, wait for it, mashed potatoes? Nope. Rice? Nope. Served over some light buttery grits. Yes, I said light buttery grits. I'm sure you've heard of shrimp and grits, right? Do you like shrimp and grits? You've heard of catfish and grits. Do you like catfish and grits? Well, wait until you taste this salmon smothered with all this nice cream and that creamy sauce on top of a bed of grits. And check this out. We're gonna have it with a side of roasted asparagus. Now, there's two things we're not gonna do on the camera. We're not gonna prepare the grits because I would hope that you know how to prepare a nice pot of grits. And you prepare those grits any way you normally prepare them. And as for the asparagus, what we're gonna do, the side is gonna be a nice roasted asparagus. I'm gonna leave a link in the description to show you how I go about, tossing and turning and putting all the nice ingredients inside of your container and mixing those veggies up and throwing them in the oven. I'm gonna put a link in the description so you see how we did that in a previous video. So like always, this is gonna be a full meal. You're gonna have your protein, your starch, and veggie, all on one beautiful plate. So we'll start like we normally do. We're gonna go over all the seasonings and ingredients and so forth for this particular recipe. So how are we gonna season our salmon? We're gonna season our salmon with onion powder, garlic powder, a little Cajun seasoning, sodium free, a little pepper, and also some red pepper, crushed red pepper. Now, when it comes to seasoning, you're familiar with the kitchen. You know how to navigate, around the kitchen. So use the seasoning that you like, No one's really dictate to you what type of seasonings to use, because you folks, I'm sure most of y'all know how to season food. Season to taste, right? But I try very, very hard to avoid high sodium content in the seasonings that I use, okay? So let's talk about the other ingredients. What are we gonna be using? We have our nice fresh salmon here, nice freshly cut salmon steaks, or filets, if you will. And for that nice savory sauce, our ingredients will include, we have 3 tablespoons of unsalted butter. We have a half a cup of diced onions. And, I like to use onions. So I'll probably have more onions in mine than you will probably choose to have in yours. I love onions because they're going to all be sauteed down. And I like to add, this is a twist, we're going to add some red peppers. We also have, let me see, how much of this do we have? We have a half a tablespoon of garlic, minced garlic. This is not really minced garlic. This is fresh garlic. I prefer to use fresh garlic, on all my dishes. We also have 2 tablespoons of sun-dried tomatoes, which is optional, but it's recommended. Next, what's up? What else do we have? We have, let me get this. We're gonna throw some spinach in there, right? This is optional, but recommended. We also have 1 cup of heavy cream. We have a half a cup of chicken broth. Got about 2 tablespoons of cream cheese. We have 3/4 cups of Parmesan cheese. I think that's gonna be it. Okay, like I said, the asparagus that I've tossed and turned and already mixed up, they're in the oven right now. So that's gonna be done off camera. And also the grits, they're already done now. That was done off camera. So we're gonna go and get started with this sauce, okay? But before we get to the sauce, let me do this. I'm gonna go and wash my hands real quick, okay? I'm gonna go ahead and wash my hands real quick because we will don some gloves for this particular recipe. Okay. Then I'm gonna move everything over. We're gonna first and foremost, I said we're gonna go ahead and start with the salt, but we're not gonna start with the salt. We're gonna go ahead and prepare our salmon. Let me just move our sauce ingredients right there, right? Gloves on. This is a quick 30-minute meal, 30 minutes. No oven action with this one. Everything is gonna be stovetop. Everything is gonna be stovetop. Everything is gonna be stovetop. Okay, first things first. We're gonna take out our beautiful salmon. Now, full disclosure, right? This is what I did. I wanted to experiment a little bit because it is a laboratory. So what I did was I went down to Sprouts. You know, they have the bourbon salmon and also the maple glazed salmon. If you want to know how to make maple glazed salmon, I'll also leave a link to that particular video that I did some time ago in the description as well. But this is bourbon. These two fillets right here, these are actually bourbon marinated steaks or fillets, if you will. They're small, but yeah, I purchased these from Sprouts. If you have a Sprouts, you got to go there. It's like a Whole Foods. But I'm going to try these, see how they taste. They should just knock it out the park, but nevertheless, we're going to check it out. We're just experimenting this morning. So check this out. I got my regular steaks here. Let me see, is this one? This is one of the bourbon. These are the plain. So all we're going to do, first and foremost, we're going to go ahead and season these up. I'm not going to put any seasoning on these three fillets right here, but again, they were already marinated over Sprouts. So I'm going to throw some onion powder on top of those. I'll put a little garlic powder. Okay. We're going to throw some pepper on them. I'm going to put a little bit of this Cajun seasoning on top of them. Non-sodium. Okay. All I'm going to do, I'm going to flip them over, do the same exact thing. Now you can do them skin on or skin off, whatever you prefer. I like my skin on my salmon. Beamer's over there making noise. Beamer, what are you talking about over there, bro? I don't know if you folks have met Beamer. Some of you have. That's my little sidekick. He's a Australian mini labradoodle. Smart as you wouldn't imagine. You could not imagine how smart this guy is. Okay, so I have my steaks already seasoned. Okay. So now let's move on over to since those are done, we're gonna go ahead and move over to the stove so we can get our sauce mixed up, okay? Let's go. Hey, quick course correction. Initially I said we're gonna go ahead and take care of the sauce, getting a little bit ahead of myself. Now we're gonna go ahead and take care of our fillets first, okay? Let's do it. Okay, I got a little butter in the pan, non-salted butter in the pan. All I'm gonna do is put my fillets in here. I think I'm gonna start off skin down. I'm gonna start off skin down. And you're only gonna let these sear or cook for about 5 minutes. 5 minutes. One thing about salmon, you overcook them, they're not gonna be as flavorful or tasteful or as tender. The texture is not gonna be what you want. It's like an egg. If you overcook an egg, you know how an egg gets if you overcook it. That's how salmon is. It does not take a lot of time to cook. But it's all about texture when it comes to salmon. We're just gonna let those sit there and sear on that side. Once they brown, we're gonna flip them over. Then we're gonna put them to the side over here on this side dish, okay? Okay, so again, some folks prefer skinless. It doesn't matter to me. You know, I prefer skin. This gets nice. I like that nice crispy texture that it has. So I'm gonna let these cook a little bit longer on the non-skin side. Skinless side. Then again, we're going to take them out Then we're gonna place them over here on the side dish. Okay, they are ready to go. They are ready to go. Just gonna take these out. Like so. What's for dinner, EA? Marry me salmon? No, salmon, baby. We ain't getting married today. Okay, now let's go ahead and prepare our sauce. In the same skillet with all those nice salmon juices in the pan, we're just gonna put it back over the fire like so. We're gonna put a little olive oil in here, a little bit, because we're getting ready to saute our onions and peppers and all the other good ingredients. So first thing we're gonna do, we're gonna put our onions in there, like so. And I told you I like onions, so I'm gonna put a whole lot of onions in there. We're gonna put our red peppers in there like that. And we're just gonna turn that fire down. Like so. All right, let it cook down. We're gonna go ahead and put our fresh garlic in there. Everything cooks better with these skillets, man. These iron skillets. We're gonna put our dried tomatoes in there. Yes, sir. Saute it. Go ahead and put my some of my spinach in there like that. That's all we need. I'm just gonna let this cook down. Gonna let this cook down before I put the other ingredients in. Okay, once you get everything cooked down right about like that, you stir fried everything down. Your garlic, your onions, your peppers, your tomatoes. Now you want to introduce your chicken stock. Put chicken stock in there. Let it simmer a little bit. Now it's the time to go ahead and put your heavy cream in, like so. Look like something Tuscan, don't it? Look at that. That looks like something Tuscan. Yes, sir. Just let it simmer like that. Once that heats up, then you're gonna go ahead and put in your cream cheese. Yes, sir. That's looking real good, Edward. We're gonna go ahead and put our cream cheese in there like that. Yes, sir. Just let it cook down. Turn it down. Turn down that fire, Edward. Turn down that fire. The fire's a little too high. Yeah, okay. Now you want to go ahead and put your Parmesan cheese in there, like so. That'll help it thicken up. Yeah, that'll help it thicken up right there. That helps it thicken up. Got that Parmesan cheese. I like to use the Parmesan cheese with the Romano and just let it simmer. So you're just going to put that on low, just let it simmer and let it thicken up a little bit. While that's happening, it's a good time to wash some dishes, or at least put some dishes in the sink. Okay, here's where I like to put a little parsley, some parsley flakes. parsley flakes in there, and a little red pepper, crushed red pepper. At this point, all you're gonna do, bring your salmon over, just sit it in there like that. Sit it in there like that. Make room for everybody. Yes, sir. There you go. Just let it simmer a little bit. Let it simmer a little bit. That's all you're doing. Okay, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. 1, 2, 3, go. There you go, baby. There you go. This is your seared salmon smothered in creamy garlic, onion, and pepper sauce. Don't get it confused. This is not me salmon. I'm sorry, marry me salmon. Again, this is seared salmon smothered in a creamy garlic, onion, and pepper sauce, baby. Look at that right there. You can see the red peppers. You can see the spinach, that savory sauce. Now, you could have also put some mushrooms in this as well. Actually, you could have mixed the mushrooms in when you were stir frying your other veggies. Look at that. Damn. Give me some. See, so I'm not going to tell you what this is because you already know. You got your roasted asparagus on the side. Now, again, prepare your roasted asparagus. I'm going to leave the link in the description to one of my previous videos. Show you just how I do that, right? How I toss that in your olive oil, your Parmesan cheese, your salt and pepper, little Cajun seasoning. You put it in the oven. I believe it was about 350, 375 for about 20 minutes. These were really large asparagus portions, so yeah, that's how much time it might take. Man, they come out nice and crunchy and delicious. It's full of flavor. Much better than when you steam. And you gotta know what this is right here. Man, that's that salmon. That creamy salmon on top of that nice, beautiful bed of grits. Not mashed potatoes. It was the grits right there, babe. It was the grits. I mean, you can have this for breakfast. Talking about gourmet. You want to impress somebody. You can have this for breakfast. This is high end right here, baby. It's 5-star all day long. This is 5-star. Look at them beautiful buttery grits up under there. Look at that right there. Now, if you want to make instant grits, make your instant grits. If you just want to, go old school and do your regular old hominy grits, go ahead and do it the way mama and grandmama never used to do it. But look at that. Look how succulent that looks. Let me get a close up. Look at that. And the salmon is not overcooked or anything. Oh, Lord. Okay, so before I do the obvious, let me just reintroduce myself. My name is EA. This channel is called Dine with EA. I appreciate y'all being here. Look, I really appreciate if you gave me a thumbs up and subscribe. You would not believe what that does for my channel in the YouTube algorithm. So I certainly appreciate it if you do that. It provides me a lot of motivation, man, to keep doing this type of stuff. You know what I mean? But look at here, man. I'm going, 1 second, forgive me. Thank you, Lord. I'm gonna go ahead and indulge. I got it. I have to indulge right now. This is part of the script, right? So we're gonna go ahead and do a little bit of this salmon with some of those grits. Lord have mercy. That sauce and those grits mix so well. If you like shrimp and grits, you're gonna love this salmon. That's heaven. This is heaven. Look again. Like and subscribe. Try the dish. You won't regret it. I'm gonna go ahead and I got a dinner date this evening. I didn't want to eat too much. You know what? I'm gonna work out before I go. That's a 10. You know what? You might want to also add a little lemon juice to it if you want. I'm not adding lemon juice. I ain't adding none of this. Look, like and subscribe. My name is EA. You're dining with EA. No, don't forget. Check out Chilling with EA on the other side. Just dropped a new video. All right? Peace. Mm.